Hi, hello. Hearing from what you guys think about me, I sound like a very fun, energetic person to be around. I am sorry in advance if this talk is not going to be as fun as you imagine it's going to be, because I don't think you all understand how much this moment matters to me, because for the past few years, I sort of disappeared. Not that the world was waiting, not that any of you may have realized or not realized, but I did disappear. My family knows. A lot of my family friends who love me, who are here, also knows. So coming back here today, talking to the world about a part of my life that I have not shared ever before, feels like a terrifying moment for me. I may have been confident in doing my job all through the years. I may have been confident at a skill set that I've honed all through the years, but I don't think I'm very confident to be standing here today and talking about what I'm about to talk about, because it's almost something that I've hidden for so long, I guess. Oh, too much suspense also. It's not as big as I'm making it to seem, but yeah. End of 2022, December 2022, I wake up one day with shooting pains down my fingers. Absurd amount of pain. Never felt a pain like that. Soon enough, it spread through my entire body. It was like somebody was stabbing, kicking, burning different parts of my body all at once. Obviously, I freaked out. Everybody who was around me also freaked out, because I genuinely thought I was dying. Did not know what was happening. Countless number of tests, countless number of doctor's appointments, and no answers. Many, many, many painful tests and no answers. It took around a month to hear the word fibromyalgia. Sounded like gibberish to me, to be honest, at the beginning. Fibromyalgia. It's a pain syndrome that, in my case, was triggered by years and years of suppressed, unaddressed anxiety and depression. It's also a syndrome that does not have a cure. Once it's triggered, it's there. You just need to learn how to manage the pain syndrome. I remember sitting in front of the neurologist, one of the final doctors you meet before this diagnosis happens, and he sat me down and he said, "Nana, this pain that you're going through is caused by your mind." He said the pain that I was going through was caused by my mind, but what I actually heard was, "Nana, we all know the truth, you're making this up. This is all in your head." I remember breaking down like a mad woman, because it felt like nobody would believe me, that I was going through excruciating, debilitating pain, to which nobody was giving me any medicines for, no painkillers were working. I couldn't work, I couldn't walk. And I worried that that's what they were saying, that I was making it all up in my head. But that's not what he was actually saying, no. All he was saying was that this syndrome, this part of life now, was caused by my poor mental health. Funny, right? Oh, I would have tripped and fallen. Okay. Funny, no? How, when it comes to mental health, it's so easy to believe that it's make-believe. Because a broken bone, which is tangible in front of us, that can be measured, is so easy to believe, to see, than something that you can't measure, like pain or stress. It took me a good year to tell myself, okay, I am suffering from depression. But you know what my mind was saying? It was saying, look at the world around you. Compared to what everybody else is going through, you have depression. I was extremely scared that everybody around me would say that I'm being dramatic, because that I'm making a big deal out of nothing. So I was scared to show myself in front of all of these people who've been around me. So I did the only thing that I could do at that point of time, which is hide. And I hide really well. Huh? I did a very good job, because soon enough, when hiding became very exhausting, very tiring, I disappeared. In the beginning, my friends, colleagues, they all checked up on me constantly, kept checking in, asking me if I was okay, why have I not been responding. Kind strangers on Instagram would say, are you okay? We've not seen you in a while. But naturally, after months, after years of getting no response whatsoever from me, those messages and calls also faded away. It was lonely, but it was not anybody else's fault. Neither was it mine, but it was extremely lonely to go through that isolation that I put myself in all by myself. Soon enough, the feeling of having to be with myself, like I would wake up in the morning and just wish for it to be nighttime as soon as possible so I can go back to sleep, so that I didn't have to spend time with me, so that I didn't have to sit with my own thoughts. The physical pain is excruciating, but this intolerance that I felt towards myself, I just couldn't stand to be with me. That was suffocating. And I think 6 months or so later, in a very vulnerable moment, I booked a one-way ticket to Kochi to my very sweet, loving parents, very concerned, loving parents who begged me to come back to the place that they thought would fix everything, home. But they were met with me locking myself inside my room for a month and a half, with curtains drawn, did not switch on the light. Family friends came home, I didn't step out of the room. My little sister, who's not so little anymore, who's only been used to overbearing love all her life, was met with the closed door. She would stand outside knocking. I couldn't open the door. I met somebody who's now a very important part of my life during that trip, that 1 month and a half in Kochi, my therapist. I didn't know at that point that she'd become so important to me, because I remember the soulless me that was carried to the therapist's office by my parents. She looked into my teary eyes and said, I've got you. I'm going to get you through this. And I remember almost chuckling inside my head. Let me see you try. I don't know what more you'll do. But she did. She did get me through it. One step at a time, one day at a time, slowly, steadily, I started fighting the urge to stay in bed. I started stepping outside of the room, sometimes even the house, for 5 minutes a day. I started washing my face. I started combing my hair. I picked up my friends' calls. I believed that I was not well. I accepted that I have a disease. But unlike the villain in my life, Mr. Depression, unlike what he was saying, I know it's funny, the depression is a male in my head. Unlike what he was saying, I was actually a lot stronger than I thought, yeah? I was a lot stronger. I could bear a lot more. I could fight a lot more. And I realized that Mr. Depression was a big fat liar. It's been around 10 months since then, I think, huh? It's now around 10 months. I'm in Kochi again. I think I'm a very different person also to my family who's seeing me. Very occasionally only they also get to see me. I'm standing here in front of you sharing a part of my life that I don't think I've ever done before. And I feel something that I don't think I've actually ever felt before, which is a little bit like myself. Now, I don't know what that really entails, right? What is myself? I don't know. For so many years, people used to say, okay, Nayana, tell us about yourself. And I used to say, hi, I'm Nayana. I'm a filmmaker. But after the months that I've gone through, just my battle with Mr. Depression, I think the answer to that question has changed forever in my head. So if, again, I'm lucky enough to be asked, okay, Nayana, tell us about yourself, I think I will say, hi, I'm Nayana. I'm kind, I'm awkward, I'm extremely clumsy, I crack horrible jokes, I'm a good writer, I'm a good director, I love fiercely, I'm there for my family, I'm there for my loved ones, I embroider quite well to my own surprise. I love my cat, Saya, obsessively. I laugh loudly and fully without any care in the world. Filmmaking, writing, this dream that I had carried since childhood is now a part of my life. It's a part that I absolutely love and that I absolutely cherish and that I'm grateful for. But I don't think that's all I am. I don't know what else, apart from the list of things that I am, that I just mentioned. But filmmaking is not all that I am. So I don't know when I started making my career this checklist almost, for success. By the age of 35, I need to make my feature film. I need to work towards that. I need to make this much money. I need to do this, that. Not that that's a bad thing, but I fell in love with filmmaking. I started out with this job or this career because I fell in love with the magic when something that was completely in my head alone, colors, people, reactions, emotions, words, tone, laughs, tears, all of this that was in my head would somehow turn into reality. That's a magical feeling. That's an extremely magical feeling. And that is why I started out trying to tell stories well. But somewhere along the way, it became the stick to measure how successful, how worthy I was. And it's not been very good for me to do that. I know this talk didn't have a lot to do with filmmaking, insights into my industry, or my career in anything that I've done. But I hope that if at least one of you who's ever tied their worth to a rank, to a title, to a paycheck, to an achievement, I hope you know that you're a lot more than all of that. We grow up with the society, with our world telling us who we are supposed to be, with a lot of expectations from the world. And we forget that those expectations and assumptions weren't actually our weight to carry. It's the people who are telling us, it's theirs. So all we can do in this one life that we have is try to find happiness in whatever happiness means to you, however small, however big. Be a good human being. Work really hard at everything that you put your mind to, no matter what that is. Make sure you pay your rent, EMIs. Maybe all we can do is just, be ourselves. So, feels strange, talking about this. Thank you for letting me share a part of me that I haven't before. Thank you for letting me sort of sneak out of hiding. And thank you for letting me be vulnerable in front of all of you. Thank you.